This week in Jamaica Now, pressure from the private sector and the church is mounting for Dr. Andrew Wheatley to step aside from the cabinet. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness pushes back against critics of the controversial United States-Jamaica Third Country National Agreement, dismissing public concern as almost ridiculous.
I see people WhatsApping me and sending me a message, why would we do this to our country? I said, please sit and think carefully about what you're saying.
Cyber criminals are hijacking WhatsApp accounts, impersonating users and tricking friends and relatives into sending money. And tributes have been pouring in from across Jamaica's political divide following the death of former Senate President Professor Oswald Harding. I'm Karen Madden, and this is Jamaica Now. The private sector organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, and the Jamaica umbrella groups of churches, JUGC, have weighed in on the Integrity Commission's recommendations concerning Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for science, technology, and special projects, Dr. Andrew Wheatley. Calls are mounting for Wheatley to step aside from his ministerial duties until the matter is resolved. The Integrity Commission has recommended that Wheatley be charged with 4 offenses, including illicit enrichment, following an investigation that reportedly found assets exceeding his lawful earnings by more than $164 million. The Director of Corruption Prosecution has also recommended charges of knowingly making false statements in statutory declarations and failing to provide requested information. The matter has also raised tax compliance concerns linked to a former medical business and has been referred to Tax Administration Jamaica. The PSOJ said it viewed the developments arising from the Integrity Commission's investigations and recommendations with concern, stressing that Jamaica's governance framework depends on transparency, accountability, and strong institutions. Given the seriousness of the allegations and the responsibilities attached to Cabinet Office, the PSOJ said Wheatley and Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness should give serious consideration to the minister stepping aside until the matter is fully resolved. The JUGC took a more direct position, calling on the Prime Minister to remove Wheatley or require him to step aside from the cabinet pending the outcome of the proceedings. In a statement signed by Chairman Bishop Dr. Roy Notice and Advocacy Representative Bishop Alvin Bailey, the church group said the allegations raised serious concerns about accountability, transparency, and the standards expected of holders of public office. Arguing that public office is a sacred trust, the organization said Wheatley stepping aside would not amount to an admission of guilt, but would instead protect the integrity of the cabinet and preserve public confidence in the government. It warned that failure to act decisively risks sending a dangerous message that public officials are not held to the same standards as ordinary citizens. Wheatley has since denied any wrongdoing. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says no one is seeking to dump undesirable persons on Jamaica under the controversial deportation arrangement with the United States of America, insisting that public panic over the agreement is almost ridiculous.
I find it, the panic around it is almost to the point of being ridiculous, honestly. I see people WhatsApping me and sending me a message, why would we do this to our country? I said, please sit and think carefully about what you're saying. We're not doing anything that 28 other countries, including within this region, have done. The United States has asked countries that it considers its friends to assist them in managing their immigration challenges. Now, who are we as Jamaicans? Are we part of the global system? Are we a friend of the United States? Are we looking to the United States to assist with things? Do we only assist in exchange for something? Is the relationship always transactional? And these are questions that we have to start to ask ourselves.
Dr. Holness was responding to criticisms that erupted after the Gleaner revealed last week, Tuesday, that Jamaica had agreed to temporarily accept batches of 25 third country nationals from the United States every 2 weeks. The Prime Minister also rejected suggestions that Jamaica had been pressured into the arrangement or had delayed agreeing because of pressure from Washington. He argued that Jamaicans need to move beyond what he described as 1970s thinking about how the country operates internationally. Third country national agreements have become a key feature of the Trump administration's immigration policy, allowing migrants to be removed to countries other than their own. Dr. Holness said the government had been very deliberate in weighing the Jamaican public's sensitivities before signing the agreement.
We were very deliberate in what we do. We considered carefully because we understand the Jamaican public, the Jamaican psyche, and how Miss Matty in Northeast Manchester is going to view it as if, the US is coming to dump unwanted persons in our country to create a problem for us. The issue is far more than that and deeper than that, and nobody's looking to dump. Nobody's looking to create a problem. Now, was our hands forced? Were we coerced? Absolutely not.
Dr. Holness also addressed why the agreement was not disclosed before it surfaced through the Gleaner's reporting, arguing that bilateral negotiations are typically conducted in private until an agreement is finalized and signed. He noted that although the Memorandum of Understanding has been signed, the arrangement remains incomplete. The Prime Minister also pointed out that opposition leader Mark Golding has not argued that Jamaica should not have entered the agreement. Golding has said the arrangement should not have come to light through a news report and that he would have been cautious about signing because of legal challenges to similar agreements currently before the United States courts. Cybercriminals are hijacking WhatsApp accounts, impersonating users, and tricking friends, relatives, and colleagues into sending money. The messages often begin innocently with greetings such as "Blessings, how are you? I hope you're doing great. Please, can you do me a favor?" Or "Good afternoon, how are you doing? I need you to do me a favor." After gaining access to a victim's WhatsApp account, scammers impersonate the user and begin messaging people in the contact list, relying on familiar names and profile photos to lower their guard. In one exchange obtained by the Gleaner, the person controlling a compromised WhatsApp account asked the trusted contact to send the US $820 or about 129,000 Jamaican dollars through Zelle, claiming to be experiencing problems with a bank account and promising to repay the money the following day. When the recipient attempted to verify the request by making a voice call, it went unanswered. Instead, the sender replied by text, "Can't talk now, call me later," before adding, "I'm on a Zoom conference meeting, just give me a text." With Jamaica's mobile market dominated by Digicel and Flow, and WhatsApp serving as one of the country's most widely used messaging platforms, cybersecurity experts warn that a single compromised account can expose dozens, if not hundreds, of trusted contacts to fraud. The Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team says cybercriminals commonly use phishing and social engineering techniques to gain access to WhatsApp accounts before impersonating victims to solicit money from their contacts. The agency is advising users to enable two-step verification, never share verification codes, regularly review linked devices, and independently verify unexpected requests for money, even if they appear to come from someone they know. The Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information is reporting measurable gains in student performance in the 2026 Primary Exit Profile Examination PEP. However, girls continue to outperform boys, prompting the ministry to establish a boys' committee to develop strategies aimed at improving male achievement. Education Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon was speaking at a press conference at Jamaica House on Monday.
8% of our students are highly proficient at mathematics, 61% are proficient Developing is 30%, and beginning is only 1%. So beginning ones are really low in terms of maths outcomes. So we're at 69% at proficient and above in mathematics. The target is 70%. For this year we missed it by 1%, but we missed it. We're going to have to work harder at this, but we're seeing improvements, and you're going to see that. Look at year over year. In 2023, we're at 57%, and now we're at 69%. So that is significant improvement in mathematics. There is a lot of work that has gone into this. There's obviously more work that we need to do to dispel this fear of mathematics in our country. What we have been doing lots of things. So, for example, having specialist teachers in our schools. So in a grade 6 class, for example, you will have 2 teachers instead of one teacher doing maths and science, and then you have the other teacher doing language arts and social studies. And so instead of having one teacher trying to do everything, and they're not necessarily best at everything, we have been experimenting with that, and we've been seeing tremendous results with that. And also we have our math camps, and we have our math experts working quite a bit with our schools, trying to improve the way we teach maths and also teaching things earlier. I saw a 9-year-old the other day talking to me about algebra, and she was doing algebra at 9. That's what we want. That's what we want for our children. We want them to be bright, 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 bright from early.
Language arts also recorded gains, with 72% of students achieving proficiency or higher. Of that figure, 5.5% were highly proficient, 66.5% proficient, 27% developing, and just 1% at the beginning level. Dr. Morris Dixon said performance in language arts has improved by 12 percentage points over 4 years, rising from 60% in 2023 to 67% in 2024, 69% in 2025, and 72% this year. PEP ranks students in 4 achievement categories: beginning, developing, proficient, and highly proficient. However, girls continued to outperform boys. In language arts, 80.2% of girls achieve proficiency or higher, compared to 63.5% of boys. In mathematics, the figures were 73.2% for girls and 64.9% for boys. Dr. Morris Dixon said the Boys Committee will focus on practical solutions to improve boys' academic performance. She also encouraged the school leaders to share successful strategies with the ministry so they can be expanded across the education system. The minister also noted that boys' underperformance is a regional issue, which will be among the topics discussed at a UNESCO event in Jamaica later this year. Tributes have been pouring in from across Jamaica's political divide following the death of a former Attorney General, Justice Minister, and Senate President, Professor Oswald Ozzie Harding, who has been hailed as one of the country's most distinguished legal minds and public servants. Harding, who died on Wednesday after a period of illness, was 90 years old. The longest-serving senator in Jamaica's history, Harding served as president of the Senate from 1980 to 1984 and again from 2007 to 2011, becoming the first person to hold the office during 2 non-consecutive terms. He was appointed Attorney General and Minister of Justice in 1986 and later helped establish the Faculty of Law at the University of Technology, Jamaica. In a statement, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness described Harding as one of Jamaica's most distinguished legal minds, parliamentarians, politicians, academics, and public servants. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck described Harding as an outstanding jurist, statesman, and public servant whose contributions to Jamaica's legal and justice landscape remain indelibly etched in our nation's history. Chuck said Harding's tenure as Attorney General and Justice Minister helped strengthen Jamaica's legal institutions and constitutional governance. Deputy Leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, Desmond Mackenzie, said Harding was a founding member of the party's influential Area Council 1, a former Deputy Chairman, and at the time of his death, a trustee. The People's National Party also extended condolences, describing Harding as a patriotic Jamaican who placed the interests of country above partisan considerations. He is survived by his wife, children, grandchildren, and extended family. Both Haiti and Curacao have officially been eliminated from the 2026 FIFA World Cup after failing to advance beyond the group stage. Despite memorable qualifying campaigns, both Caribbean nations finished at the bottom of their respective groups. Haiti became the tournament's first team to be mathematically eliminated after losses to Brazil and Scotland in Group C. However, they ended their campaign with a spirited 4-2 defeat to 2022 semi-finalists Morocco in Atlanta, scoring their first World Cup goals in 52 years. Curacao, the smallest nation ever to qualify for a FIFA World Cup, exited the tournament after a 2-0 defeat to Ivory Coast in Philadelphia. Their historic campaign also included an impressive scoreless draw against Ecuador. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Follow us on X and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on our YouTube page. Turn on your notifications and subscribe today. I'm Karen Madden.